Hello, thank you for joining me on our live edition of Between the Spreadsheets. Tax increases, national insurance increasing by 1.25%. And the employer, remember, for your employers, that's not just the employee that has to pay that. You also have to pay an additional 1.25% to fund care. I personally don't think it's a terrible thing. I think tax increases now, tax hikes, whatever you want to call them, that they're going to be a part of society all over the world, and we've just got to live with it. It's not as bad as we think. I mean, the increase means less than £200 extra per year to pay, but if that can stop you or your parents or any elderly relatives having to not get the care that they need in their elderly years, or they're forced to sell homes and you lose everything, maybe it's a small price to pay. I mean, tax has never been popular. No matter what taxes come on us, they're not popular. And there's always that feeling that it's the government wastes money and things could be done on a better way, you know, and they probably could be. But our goal isn't to try and change the world and lobby the government and object to everything. Our goal is to improve our businesses so that we can afford to pay the taxes and actually pay more. What do you think, Graham? Do you think we should improve business, or do you think we should lobby to pay less tax?
No. Let's scrap it all. Scrap the whole
tax.
system. Screw them. Anarchy. I want pure anarchy, mate.
I don't think you'd get that. I think people would naturally start trading. I think the idea of tax is that we can fund things that have to be funded on a national basis rather than on a local basis, and to direct funds where they're most needed. If we didn't pay any tax, then it would be up to the powerful giants to decide who's going to get what, who's going to be paid what for. So tax is a leveller and a redistribution of income. Supposedly
I agree, it's a leveller. I'm not agreeing on the redistribution.
Have you ever paid tax, Graham?
One day I will at some point pay taxes.
Well, there you go. So it's like a status thing for you, isn't it? I thought because we're in accountancy and bookkeeping and business show, I thought I'd mention something about tax. But my attitude is tax is a necessary evil. We don't want to spend our lives fighting it. We want to improve our businesses so that we actually make more money, and we don't care if we pay a bit more tax. But you know, the world is changing, and we need to change with it. And tonight, I mean, most of today we've been talking to clients, and I think you've been you've been eavesdropping on a couple of meetings.
Oh, I'm always hanging around me.
But we've been talking about how things have got to change. We've got to adapt to this new world that we live in, and we've all got our different ways of adapting. But I think it's important to realise that things are changing. And so therefore we've got to change with them. I mean, animals can do it. And do you know, animals have actually been shape-shifting. Seriously, they've been...
We got all David Icke here on already.
No, nothing like that. Nothing creepy. But animals have been... animals have been adapting to their environment quite quickly, like birds. Their beaks have been growing bigger to absorb the heat better, or being able to get deeper into... Why are you laughing at? I'm serious. And legs on animals have been growing because they're adapting to the new world we live in. We should be doing the same. Why are you laughing at me?
I just love the idea. I could do with absorbing some more heat.
I have been adapting. Look at that.
You've had a shave,
you've been adapting.
I'm putting it on ready for the winter.
Yeah, to keep stuff.
Well, it'll be gone by the spring.
Do you shave everywhere, Graham?
Only when I want to feel special.
So you always want to feel special, don't you? But you know, Jeff Bezos and all these very rich people.
But he shaves everything, doesn't he?
Well, does he?
No. He has someone to shave everything.
But you know, one of the reasons why they've left they're sort of come away from their directorships and whatever, it's because they're investing so much money now into life extension research over in Silicon Valley. So that they reckon that they're going to increase lifespans, double, tripling it, and all these billionaires are going to be at the front of it, so they live forever. That is so reassuring for me. What? You just waved at me.
Yeah, I just got to say, Kelsey Wanson again, our Colin. Thanks. He watches every week. He doesn't normally comment. He said, "Good evening, gents and Graham." I don't appreciate that, Colin. In fact, I don't really.
At least he didn't misgender you.
Can I just say, with life extension research, when it finally comes through, because we are living longer and healthier, are you going to get the injections?
Yeah. Longer and healthier. Worst examples ever on camera right now.
Well, it's not through yet, but if it wasn't for medication, I'd be dead long ago.
Yeah.
No. I'm just the point of this tonight's show is what I wanted to get right across to people, that they've got to adapt, and there's so much out there that so instead of like selling the old everyday products, and especially when you're selling on price, I think the days of selling on price are numbered. I think people want things that they want the purpose from those things, or the status of them, or the branding. I think being the cheapest on the market has never been the best way to go. Oh, even Hayden's walked out tonight. So
He's gone. Hayden's gone.
Oh
He's
no!
done with you.
Oh no! But just to contradict that, I'm just going to go something that I made some notes of a bit further down, because I've just made a statement that I don't think it's clever selling the cheapest products on the market. Although I wanted to mention Poundstretcher. The discount store Poundstretcher, everything for £1, everything cheap. They went into administration a while ago, after losing £50 million, but it seems that this year they've made £30 million. So good management is important, because what they've basically done is they've got rid of some of the shops that they had that were not making any money, and which seems an obvious thing to do. And they've streamlined some of the operations, so some of the lines that was dead stock they've got rid of, and they've done things like renegotiate terms with landlords. The thing is, though, they've spent about 10 million on KPMG. That's the accountant fees for the what's called the administration cost and all of that. So £10 million has just gone when all they needed to do was renegotiate rents. Now that's another thing we were talking about before, weren't we, Hayden? Where rents, you can sometimes enter into a deal where the rents seem okay at that moment, but then high streets change and things change. So is it right that companies, especially big firms that have got lots of shops, have to be tied in for 20 years on a decision that they've made based on the economy at a particular moment?
It's not only that, it's the increases year on year.
Yeah.
Regardless of anything,
They
always tell you, oh, I've got to cover the mortgage, but your mortgage rates haven't gone up.
No, they don't go down. So I think that there should be allowances to say, look, this agreement was made then, and it's now several years later, and things have changed. So something that had a market rental of £75,000 in 2010, look around, everything's closed. It's not worth that amount of money. It might not even be worth half that. And I think if landlords don't see the common sense in that, then maybe there should be some government interference to balance things up. I mean, that's what governments have always done. That's what courts have always done. They balance things up. What do you think?
I can feel it coming off Graham here.
What do you
He
mean?
hates this.
Have you
sort
wet
of
yourself?
I was just going to say, is there still money in trousers?
Do you know, money in my trousers? Why have you been through my pockets?
Not in your trousers. There's never anything in your bloody trousers. But is there money selling
Melanie,
trousers?
did you hear what you just said? That's because she gets there first. Go on, what are you saying?
Money in pants. Is that still a business? Or is it
Money
all in China?
in pants.
Like
There's money in everything.
Yeah.
Because I was doing some research before, and that is how Graham pushed me into that then. And I've got here like these things I made a note of. Shoes is predicted to be one of the next boom industries. Vegetarian meals, one of the next boom businesses. And we can see these things happening, especially if you can deliver pre-cooked packet vegetarian food that's of decent quality. In insurance is predicted to be booming because more and more people are being sensible about risk. So they're insuring all sorts of different risks, like people not paying them, bad weather, all sorts of things that are being insured. So there is heading towards a boom in interest in insurance. But you know what else is coming up? That's going to be a next major boom across the world, and it's in children's watch type things, where they can connect onto the internet or they can speak to people. You know, and I know my little granddaughters, you know, they want these watches that they can talk to.
You get my kid on the internet. What for?
I don't know. Why would your kid?
What are you doing?
What can your kid give to the internet?
She knows more about the internet than I
Yeah,
ever
they all
will.
do. They all know more. But there are things. Do you know what else
You're right though on those watches. My daughter's got one that's Bluetooth to my phone, so she can take little spy pictures and it appears on my
They're good.
device.
But there's actually magazines and things that you can read that sort of tells you the world trends in different products. So I just thought I'd make a note of some of these. Do you know what surprised me? That is a booming business to be in at the moment.
What's that?
Intelligent toilet seat covers.
What?
Apparently, they're predicting high growth, as much high growth in that as they are in another software development boom, which is in debt collection software. So it's interesting, isn't it? All these little things that you don't think of, but they're heading to booms.
Do you know what? Yes, I can see the toilet seat thing. Because for years and years, everyone's been saying, why don't... They go to Japan, they come home, and they say, why hasn't my toilet
Well, there's lots of things. There's loads of things. I mean, I like that. I can't remember. I think I was in China once, and it actually had a talking toilet, and it actually said something like, I always say it said, "Thank you very much. Please may I have another?" But it just said, "Thank you, have a nice day," sort of thing. But there's these underwear that has got charcoal built in that absorbs smells. I mean, that is going to take so much fun out of passing wind, especially in lifts. Oh, you try not to laugh at that one. Do you find you get to an age when before you pass wind, you've got to make a conscious decision just in case?
You have to get in the right place.
Well, just in case it's not what you thought it was.
Yeah.
I just appreciate some warning.
Yeah, but this is it. You get to that age whether it's a gamble.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not a gamble if you don't have a choice.
So and anyway, I thought I'd mentioned that, but then I was going to mention some new tech that I'm so into people looking up tech, and if you're looking for new ideas, there's so many sources of it. But do you know that Mercedes are bringing out? It's like a little sort of what do you call them? A little like headphone or
yarmulke.
Not a yarmulke.
With an M on it.
A yarmulke is a Jewish prayer hat that you're supposed to wear all the time. Do you know why they wear? Do you know why Jewish people wear yarmulkes?
I have no idea.
It's a little skull cap. It's to say that, keep people just broke my pen. It's to keep people humble, to say that there's always somebody above them.
Did you have someone in mind that always wears one? Yeah, they were just in your head and you went... Certain person.
No, I just couldn't remember. There's like a band that you put on your head with Mercedes, and you can control certain aspects of your car through thought. You'd never get anywhere, would you?
No, man.
Can you imagine your bike being controlled by thought? You'd just stare at the lights all day.
I can't imagine Graham on the road anyway. It's so angry.
You are a bit of a road rage person, aren't you?
So angry.
Do you know what? I do worry about that. I'm quite chilled behind the wheel, though. I am. I am surprisingly relaxed.
Well, that's the thing with the brain thing.
You
It
don't
wouldn't work.
drive.
I have driven, though.
When?
When I was learning.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, but I would still...
Counts a little bit.
You got someone next to you pressing the pedals for you.
I had a car and that. Well, I don't want to get into that.
Graham,
Oh, that's part of that sort of driving, was it?
She took it when she... Yeah. She got everything, Stephen.
He's been there twice.
I got the telly, though, and it still works.
Not good.
15
divorce,
years,
isn't
I'm
it?
still using that.
Not divorce isn't good for men.
The energy in the room just fucking collapsed.
Do you know, I can always tell when clients are getting through a divorce. I'm the first person they call. Yeah. And you can say, "Oh, are you talking about are things not right? Are you?"
But don't they feel better when you say, "Oh yeah, this is going to be terrible"?
It's actually not as bad as it used to be. So they say, "Well, is she going to get everything?" And it's like, "Well, there's ways, you know." But you know, it's you kind of
Mostly.
Mostly, yeah. Your soul's already gone.
My
So you're not
wife's
gonna
told
miss
me
that.
distinctly, if we get divorced, I'm having the kid.
Yeah. And dogs.
But not the dogs, no.
No.
If she wants the dogs, I get the kid. Oh no, I get one of the dogs.
Get
The
one of
faulty one. That's what happened.
So what was it? Shirt. There's just going back to things you can look up, because remember, a lot of these firms that have got high tech stuff, they are often looking for distributors, and it's only a case of contacting 50 of them and finding the best one for you, or one that will work with you. And it's a shirt that it monitors your heart. Why have you put jeans up on the screen? We never mentioned jeans. I know we were talking about crossing you with a gorilla to increase intelligence, but...
Oh, sorry, just to remind you, don't forget to tell everyone who you interviewed today. Who
did I interview today? We interviewed a TV filmmaker who, you'll see the video coming up soon. It's just, if anybody does want to create their own commercials on their own films, it would be a fraction of the normal price.
His name?
His name was... shit.
No, that wasn't his name.
Hang on, I've got it written down somewhere. It was just, give me for Billy.
That's fine. That'll do.
From Blue Bug
TV.
Blue Bug TV.
I just want it while the iron's hot. Mention it, and we're at
Thank you.
The iron wasn't.
Hayden's coaching me today. Because he thinks I'm too corporate in accountancy and I need to relax and become more of one of the boys.
I coached him by shouting at him for 20
minutes. He coached me by shouting at me for 20 minutes. But why is Billy, who's such a nice fella, why is his name gone out of my head?
Oh, it's back in now.
Only because Graham put it up on the screen. Billy, don't cause a scene. Right, let's move on. So did you have a picture of that smart T-shirt, that smart shirt? Because you looked it up, didn't you? So this shirt apparently regulates can measure your heartbeat, and they've got stuff that can make you massage you as you're walking, measure temperatures, do all the things. I mean, clothing is going to be becoming so high tech, and there must be lots of people you can contact, even if you're not in the clothing game. I used to be in they called it the swag game, sold without a guarantee many years ago, and it was just it is that's what it's called in the Del Boy days.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry to jump in.
Yeah.
Can you imagine any of us owning one of those T-shirts where when you put it on in the morning, the T-shirt just emitted a deep sigh?
Yeah, it just start beeping, wouldn't it?
Just
throughout the day.
Just resignation. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, we'd get a phone call from HMRC, and the whole office, the phone would be T-shirts would be beeping. Yeah.
Sending you text messages back at the little cafe, sausages again.
That's why people like us don't buy those step things.
Oh no.
Daily count.
But you know, you can see the value in all this tech, and you can see how even the smallest of businesses can get involved in this.
I don't buy anything electrical unless it connects to my house now. I'm not interested. I want to be able to just shout at Google to get it to turn on.
I just think if I bought a shirt and it was reasonable price, normal price clothing, and it sort of like monitored my heart and monitored what I was doing, I'd be quite depressed most of the time.
You take it off very quickly.
No, I think that there's so much going on there.
we get in because he's always here first. We get in. He's just sat there beeping.
And then every time that door opens, beep, 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 beep.
Well, at least AstraZeneca, the COVID vaccine, may work as a cancer treatment. This is what they're saying.
That's handy.
Now. Well, this brings to mind.
Imagine, look, that the cancer treatment was actually all we needed was chimps with the flu, and that's how we got it.
You don't get it. This is repurposing products. This is having a product that does one thing, and then you can put it in another packet, and it does another thing. We've talked about this before. But this is just reusing products. I just thought I'd be clever and use that.
Nurofen are the champions at that.
Yeah.
They have two different types of painkiller.
Yeah.
But one's branded as for ladies for periods.
That's good.
It's the identical painkiller to the other one.
Yeah.
But it costs more.
There you go.
Marketing.
No, it is. It is. Well, I've mentioned booming markets, haven't I? Debt collection software, intelligent toilet seat covers, underwear that captures, sort of carbon filters in it, so it captures unpleasant smells. But all these things are available. If you walk into a shop and you've got underwear that captures unpleasant smells, or normal underwear, and they're both about the same price, which are you going to buy? And the profit's probably going to be higher.
Normal underwear.
Well, yeah, because you like the effect, don't you?
It's not that I like it, I just think other people should.
But you're probably right with you. Do you think IKEA's mattresses, because they've got a shortage of mattresses, would have inbuilt carbon filters?
Yeah, but what if you're facing the other way? You need the carbon duvet as well.
I think, you know, when
if you've got the carbon duvet, you're stuck under.
Do you know when all these shortages are going on and people saying, you know, the shortages of mattresses, the shortages of toenail pickers, do you think it's actually real, or do you think that they're just getting publicity?
I bought a mattress 2 weeks ago. I didn't know there was a shortage.
On Amazon.
I didn't know there was a problem. Yeah.
I think there is a shortage there's a logistical problem with haulage at the moment. That's affecting the majors more disproportionately to a lot of the indies,
which is
right
good. We need the independent companies out there taking
Bezos,
advantage of this.
He looks after me.
Who does?
Daddy Bezos.
You're just
It was half price of a silent night as well. I was well happy.
What do you need a new mattress for anyway? Have you been drilling holes in them?
No.
Oh.
Just to take care of my disabled partner.
She's not disabled. Why would you say that?
No, he's not actually making that up.
Oh, is she disabled?
That'd be really weird.
Well, thanks for making light of it.
Well, I didn't know. I thought you were the disabled one. Guys, furlough's coming to an end in September. So all those people on furlough, they'll get last payment at the end of the month. And if you don't want them to come back to work, make sure your paperwork's in place to let them go the proper way. And those of you who think you're going to get furloughed forever and could come back to work but don't want to, you know, good luck with that. And that way we might have some drivers back in the workplace and the people that we need, so we can get mattresses and toenail clippers. Do you know?
Wait, we've missed this table. What's this table for two?
Oh, have you put that in?
Yeah.
Oh, you
What's
would.
going on there?
The other day, I went with my daughter for a Chinese meal, lunch, dim sum. You know, and when we got to the restaurant, there was this guy sort of stood there, and I said, "Can we have a table for two?" But he was he was a customer. He didn't actually work there. So my daughter was going mad with me because she just sort of assumed that he was working there because he was Chinese. And I said, that isn't the case. He just looked like he was working there. And when he gave me that look as well when I came in, you know, like waiters do, and they sort of say, "What are you doing here?" Yeah. And so I thought, listen, I'm going to see that Marvel film. I'm there.
Yeah.
But
I'm seeing Shang-Chi at the cinema.
I don't know at the cinema, but I'll, you know, when it comes out on Sky. Yeah. But you know, I did used to read the comics. I'm quite a fan. But anyway, she was annoyed with me because I just assumed. But I tried to say that it's not that I assumed that. It's because he had that look, you know. And quite often, I've walked into shops and places, and they've assumed that I work there, and I've had people coming to me and say, "How much is this?" or "Do you sell that?" or "Where's this?" Because I just have a look of retail because I probably fit the bill. And I think a lot of businesses, a lot of business owners need to be much more aware of the product and not just know the products, but be the product, be part of that world. I don't know if it's ever happened. Has it ever happened to you that people have asked you something because you've been in a place and they've thought that...
Oh, I thought you meant have I just walked in a Chinese restaurant and just... Yeah. First Chinaman I saw, I just went, "Hey mate, sit me down."
I didn't say "Hey mate," I just said you got a table for two.
Yeah. No, when I go into a shop, people tend to think I'm a shoplifter.
Yeah, no,
they don't. They don't assume that.
No, I can see that.
There. I'm just like,
I can so see that. You can't believe it. Hey, you look like someone that would be. You know, if I walked into a shop and saw you there, I'd assume you were on the on a bouncer or in security of some sort.
Or you've walked into a vape shop.
Yeah,
you've been a vape shop. Yeah. I don't smoke.
That happened to me the other night, so yes.
I'd see you more as somebody that hangs on the street corners selling drugs.
Well, I've got to be honest, I think with Graham it happens more in saunas.
But yeah, you know he's meant to be there. Can you pass me a towel?
No, not a towel.
Sorry, I'm away from that one. But anyway, I just think some people look like they belong in certain situations and places. So I thought, you know, but in the meantime, she was annoyed with me. What I've got, do you know, I pulled this article because you asked me about it before, and it's one of Wales' leading construction firms collapsed, owing creditors nearly £30 million. That's a lot of money, isn't it? and it's something that I've been familiar with in the.
Why does it keep happening, man? It's all these big firms.
It's building firms as well, because what my experience is that I don't know who this company are, and I've never heard of them. It's a company called Llanelli, or is that a place? Oh no, it's not. That's the place.
It's
called
place.
WRW Construction, and they're put into administration in July. But if I went and looked at those accounts, I bet you I'd find things going on that they have to suffer through beyond being a normal business, because building companies, construction companies, are under so much pressure all the time for development finance. Because what happens in a property development company is that it's money going out and out and out, but nothing coming in until maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And quite often it's the financiers and the bankers that are charging ridiculous interest rates, and generally surcharges on this, that and the other, and they're forcing the construction companies to act in a way that is not always sound practice, and then the lending on top of lending. So instead of sitting down and saying, look, this is a 5-year project and this is how much funds are going to be needed in the entire length of the project, they'll say, right, this is what we need to get to phase 1, and they'll lend them £5 million. And then as they get into phase 1, as you know, if you've ever done any small building work at home, costs are never quite what you budgeted for. People let you down, they don't turn up, there's problems with delivery, there's breakages, there's all sorts. So there's always much bigger contingency than you think. But the builder's thinking, well, I can't say that because I won't get the money. And then the finance companies often capitalise on this, and they start charging even more money, and the brokers are earning as well. I've come across building companies that have literally paid millions of pounds in interest charges and brokers' fees. So what chance have they got? Yeah, it's all very well to say, well, they should plan it better, but like everyone, the business people, they're not accountants, and even when they do plan it better, quite often the big finance companies pull the rug from under the feet. And I've experienced it a few times. There was one just before COVID with quite a major northwest building construction company that's been around since the 50s. And when I went through the accounts, the company was very well run. It was just so over leveraged with finance. It was madness. So, it's something to be aware of, and good. It starts with being realistic about the money you'd need to develop to start with, and maybe an understanding lender. And if you can't get it all sorted out, maybe don't chance it. Maybe do something else. So that was my little gripe with that. But one thing I did want to talk about, but we're running out of time, so we might leave it for next week. And it's looking at what you want out of your business and how to start setting a plan of action. So I was going to say, like, the first thing for you to think of maybe for next week, or if you want to contact me, is how you define success. Now, it's all very Americanism, and it's all a bit wimpy, but it is the right way to look at things. You before you go somewhere, you want to know where it is you want to go and what you're prepared to commit. So we'll talk about that a bit more next week. I'm losing my voice, probably screaming at Graham this day, because honestly, everything that he could do wrong, he did wrong. And even when Hayden corrected it, he went and did it wrong again. But I don't really know what to say about that.
Yeah, everything he says is completely accurate.
Have we got any messages you'd like me to respond to before we say goodnight?
Cup of Tea said that he knows a building company that goes bankrupt every 3 years.
Yeah.
Total Utter Nutter says that high interest is because inflation is devaluing debt. Too many concepts and I don't understand.
It's not quite the point I was making. It's not totally untrue, but it's not the point I was making. That's more a government thing. But anything else? Anything of... Yeah.
I don't think we want to put anything else on screen.
Okay. Well,
that was said.
It's been a very quick show tonight. Still done our normal just over half an hour. It's gone very smoothly. I've had no real insults from anybody, and for that I thank you. Excuse my voice. Hopefully it'll be back to normal next week. And I want to thank you very much for joining me. So it's good night from me, and who cares about Graham? Good night.